Hey everybody, welcome to Late Late Horror Show. Top 10 coming up. I have no idea what Dave's picks are. Dave's Pixar. Pixar is a movie company. Anyways, let's do the intro and then we'll get into the show. Whatever. I don't
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey everybody, what did you do? You put a link already there? Hey everybody, welcome to the Late Late Horror Show. I am Dino as always, and that is Dave Plouffe. Wishes for a top 11. Listen, I hope we got time. I mean, we got 20 movies to talk about real quick.
We do. I actually had an honorary mention section.
Well, yeah, listen, I mean, let's get in and start talking about this, Dave. But good to see you, Dave, as always. Every week, me and Dave, we talk horror or whatever. We to Columbo, whatever, something. But it's 18 more nights till Halloween. And I can't, well, I'm not going to say I can't wait because I'm not trick-or-treating or nothing like that. But we also got Kolchak next week and a Halloween party after that. So we got lots of stuff going on. I'm curious. This is the intro to my number 10. I'm not looking at that because I have no idea what Dave's top 10 list is, and he has no idea what mine is.
As Chris W says, I'm a wild card.
Yes, Dave Plouffe is a wild card. She thinks she knows me because I like that Italian giallo and stuff like that.
I think I know you too.
Yeah, right. I think everybody kind of knows me, but let me say something about that really quick, and then I'll say hello to people. The thing I've noticed through all these years of horror, I've been putting myself out there and watching a lot of different types of horror and stuff like that. So honestly, I found out when doing this list, because I think it's been 3 or 4 years, maybe 4 years since I did a top 10 list. No, I think with Ted was the last one. Like
I would say it was with Ted, yes.
Yeah, so I found out that listen, things have changed. Like every year, I think a lot of different things change, and it also depends on your mood and what you're interested in that year. Is it a black and white year, Dave? Is it a 70s? Anyways, we'll talk about it.
It changes from morning to night, even.
Well, it does. Dave said he's changed his about 15 times already. So there you go. Hey, horror junkie for life. What is going on? Good to see you. Connie Clary, as always. Neo X Bomb. Good evening, everybody. Good to have you here, Neo. About ready to show everybody and let everybody know our top 10 list. Chris W., good to see you. Raj, what is going on? Dino, that Dracula's head in the corner there is. You mean Phantom of the Opera. And Frankie, right behind me, if you can see it there. Frankenstein. Sean Bosserman. I'm sick as a dog and I need to sleep. Sleep, Sean. Sleep. Feel better. Yes, so lots of colds have been going around.
Before you go to sleep, give us a thumbs up.
Yes, please give that thumbs up. J.O.B. What's going on? Mr. Ed, what's going on? I've been dealing with a kind of a sore throat. I'm finally sounding. I almost couldn't talk 2 days ago. But anyways, who else is here? Stephanie Press. Yes, Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Good to see you. Sweet Indigo. Lizzie.
Nathan.
Tune. Nathan. We got a lot of people here. Make sure you guys give it a thumbs up and all that good stuff. WTF Horror and Sci-Fi, what's up? So there you go. Let's get into this, Dave. Like I said, I think you're going to be surprised at some of my list because, like I said, I found out that, especially the past 4 years, really, there's times where it's all black and white horror, the universo. It's time for that. I found out that it's time for giallo or the 70s type of movies. But there's always a couple of staples that I know are always going to be there. So, there is that. Let me see what happened here.
Horror junkie.
Horror Junkie for Life gifted 1 membership, level 2 support. Thank you to Keith Brooks. Thank you, Horror Junkie for Life. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, listen, she's going all the way, man. Horror Junkie for life, for life. But yeah, we got an hour and a half. I think we'll get through 10 each. But you guys definitely chime in what your favorite movie of all time is, and I'll try to keep up with the chat. But me and Dave are going to try to get through this as best we can. And Undead Caesar, hello. Congratulations on hitting and surpassing 300K. No, 200K. I wish I was 300K, but yeah, no, that's a whole 100 away. 100K away. That rhymes, right, Dave? Onward,
so.
friend. Thank you. So, yes, Dave. Things change. I can't wait to hear what you. Who wants to go first here?
And by the way, I'm number 73
For what?
of the 200,000.
Oh yes, you are very one of the very first, at least in the first 100 subscribers to the channel. Yes. But let's get into the top 10 list here, you guys.
So welcome everyone, and let me tell you, my top 10 list is very eclectic. A lot of you don't know me for a long period of time, what I'm going to watch on TV when I'm not watching shows for this channel. I'm going to start off with something lightweight. You saw me put the link in. It was for the CBS movie of the week.
10-1.
And number 10 for me, I'm just going to get right to it. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, 1966. Cheers.
Okay. And that's the thing. It's not going to be just movies. It's whatever gets you in the Halloween spirit, as me and Dave were talking. My list is movies. They're all movies. The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, that's a good one. And
it's something that sets off the season. It's something as a kid you look forward to just as much as trick-or-treating. It is something that also, the older you get, I think the more nostalgic you get for those early cartoons. So 1966 is when that first came out. Beautiful watercolor backgrounds, and that is what I'm sticking with for number 10.
Oh, listen, that's perfect. I was looking through some Scooby-Doo episodes, like the Vincent Price one and all that. But yeah, there's a lot of but yeah, Charlie Brown, Great Pumpkin. That's my number 11 honorable mention. I didn't even think to throw that in there, but I think that's something that I watch every single year, without a doubt. Actually, Charlie Brown for every holiday, like the Thanksgiving special, Christmas special, all of that. So I definitely do that.
I think a great film, though. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Chan.
The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Chan is a really good movie.
That would be a great one. Man Who Liked Pumpkin, never mind.
Man Who Liked Pumpkin. Hey, John Swan, what's going on? Oh my God, I'm out of it, Dave. Still,
I'm sorry, that's okay.
Okay, my number 10.
Yes,
honestly, it's going to be a horror comedy. A lot of my comfort films are horror comedies, and I'm giving stuff away already. But anyways, Young Frankenstein, 1974. That's going to be my number 10. Okay. This year, this is what I feel like, and I put a lot of effort into 1 to 10, and I switched a couple, and then I put them back, but this is what I'm sticking with, and it's Frankenstein. It's the story of Frankenstein. It's got Gene Wilder, one of my favorite comedic actors of all time. I love anything Gene Wilder is, and it's a Mel Brooks film. I mean, you got Marty Feldman in this. You've got Peter Boyle. Well, you got Madeline Kahn, and you have Terry Garr.
Yes.
And a roll in the hay. But other than just the funny lines, the great script, the black and white that they did to this for the throwback to an earlier time, the Dracula, Frankenstein, all that. This just, it does it for me. It comforts me. It just makes me feel good. And that's why it's on my list. And that's why it's number 10.
All I can think of right now is Taffeta Darling.
or my what big. Listen, there's so many lines in there. Walk this way. My what big knockers you have. I mean, it's just far broker. I mean, it's just over and over and over. Everything about this. Mel Brooks, classic.
Yeah, don't put the candle back.
Don't put the candle back. No, listen, I mean, fun. There's movies that'll scare you, and there's movies like this where it puts you in the mood for Halloween, but it's also funny, and so yeah, and it's Frankenstein. So there
And
we
it
go.
really is just such a close, almost copy to The Son of Frankenstein with Basil Rathbone, those beautiful, German expressionist types of sets, and
Yeah.
even the guy with the wooden arm, when he
Oh
plays
yeah.
darts.
He's got a wooden harmony, throws the darts and stuff like that. And Young Frankenstein is just so great. Love it. So on to your number 9, Dave.
Number 9 already is one that, I came to late in life. I absolutely love it. It is a cult classic. It's something we talk about on the station all the time. In fact, we're going to talk about it next week. It is Kolchak the Night Stalker, the original 1972. This nut thinks he's a vampire.
There you go. Yeah, listen, I good pick. Very good pick. I don't think we're going to have any bad picks. I mean, I really don't.
No.
I think these are all good. The fact that you picked Kolchak, I think, is right in line with you, Dave. I mean, it's your thing, and I mean, it's not on my top 10 list. I will give that away, but man, Kolchak, the Night Stalker, the movie is just fantastic.
Well,
Fantastic.
for something that doesn't have the Halloween vibes, I mean, you're in Las Vegas, driving
Right.
down the strip, but it's the idea of having a vampire. It's the comedic aspect. It's the interactions, of course, with Vincenzo. You've got an all-star cast from Larry Linville on up, and it's really a great film.
And it's something I think I should bring up. I think people from different parts of the world, different parts of the country are going to have different feelings on Halloween, Like
Right.
over here it's very cold, raining, and sometimes you get that the first flurry of the year, and you're packing on clothes, and then putting that costume over your thick coat and stuff as a kid. And the same with movies, like Kolchak. You're talking about out there where it's warm, a monster movie where it's warm, or horror movie, whatever. So you get a different perspective on Christmas, Halloween, all that, because you live in California,
Right.
whereas I live in a cold, temperate climate. So.
Yeah, if we had flurries out here for Halloween, I don't know how I would feel about that. We don't have flurries at Christmas.
Right, exactly. John Victor posted the Exorcist audiobook, and it was fantastic to listen to and get to speak. Yep, I did, and it's just something that I took down because audiobooks is a different thing. I mean, people put effort into that, and they should get their get their due with their monetarily, speaking. Anyways,
And I ask you a question before we go on, because
certainly.
John Victor also said the Chris Bear driving at night. Are you allowed to burn leaves there in Cleveland where you are?
Oh yeah.
God, that is wild.
Oh yeah, lots of bonfires. There's during Halloween and trick or treating, there's a house on the one street where my kids go trick or treating that's got, I swear to God, it looks like the Burning Man. I mean, in his front yard, it's just like the biggest bonfire ever, and everybody comes over, and they got like apple cider tea and stuff like that. So it's just cool. It's the neighborhood that they grew up in is just, it's really cool, and everybody knows each other and stuff like that. So yeah, no, it's a really cool thing. You can't burn stuff like that over there. No,
We can't even have bonfires unless we're on the beach. It's controlled. It's in the cement bunker. We're very much bubble wrap over here, and
I get it.
No
It's
fires.
California. Yeah. The smoke will go up, and all of a sudden, it's a smoggy day. You'd make the weather.
We would.
Yeah. Okay. So my number 9, or wait, yes, you did your 9. I'm doing my 9. My number 9 is a classic, Night of the Living Dead from 1968. I love everything about it. It's kind of your first zombie picture, even though we've seen zombies before, but we get a different kind of zombie in this film. George A. Romero. I mean, come on. The actors and actresses in this, I mean, it depends, but it's not. But listen, because I forget the actor who played the part, but Barbara, played by Judith O'Dea,
Yeah.
she was so annoying in this movie. So much so that I keep coming back over and over again to watch it and rack my brain. But no, you get it's your first zombie film, really, like this, and it just spawned off so many different things in the zombie genre, and it's a classic, black and white, everything I love. There you go. That's my number
How
9.
did you like the eating of the brains and the innards of the people? That
I
was a little bit, not so much the visual, but the audio of that.
I thought it was very cool. Hey Lulu Bell. There's a certain, hey Sally Skellington, what's going on?
I saw.
There's a certain, well, it's black and white first of all, so you get a different sense to what they're eating. Even though I think if I remember right, they were real pieces and parts from animals that but anyways, it just, the black and white gives it a different feel. But when you hear it, yeah, and it's slimy too. When it comes to horror, there's different types of people for different types of things. Like there's going to be a movie in here where I talk about kills, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, how can you talk about that? That's just sadistic. That's disgusting. But when it comes to horror movies, I mean, that's the whole point. You want to be scared to death, or something that just, clicks with you, that just puts you on edge just a little bit. And that's the whole thing about being spooked or being scared. And growing up my whole life, as I belch as I talk, my grandparents exposed me to horror movies at a very early age. I mean, I had a big Italian family. They would all watch horror movies late at night, and I'm a 4, 5, 6-year-old kid by the couch, and dead bodies are being thrown through glass and stuff like that. So there's a connection there a little bit. And holy Moses, smell the roses. Do I see Rosalia?
I think so.
Rosalia, what the heck has been going on? I think we need to do more horror for you is what we need to do. Good to see you in the chat, Rosalia. It's been a long while. So anyways, that's my reasoning behind Night of the Living Dead. And I think we can move on to your number 8, unless you got something to say. What's your thoughts on Night of the Living Dead?
Well, I'm going to tell you, because that's my number 8, George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead, 1968.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I love everything from They're Coming for You, Barbara, to the weird angles like you saw in Batman.
Yes.
That was something that was unique and unsettling as well. And, I think you've said it the best. It's something that sets you a little bit off. It's the slow zombies. I never understood why they were able to catch anybody unless you were taking a nap or sleeping. But it is unsettling when you think about, what could happen and when they're dead and they rise, and oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's your typical zombie. I mean, just coming out of the ground, eating you alive. I mean, come on. And it gets better. I mean, well, not better, but I mean, this is my number 9. There's not another zombie movie in there. But, off of this, you got Return of the Living Dead, and you got all these other zombie, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, which in their own right, if I were to just go zombie movies, I'd have to rethink the whole thing, even though Night of the Living Dead is here and I don't got Day of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead. I think just because it's so groundbreaking and it's black and white and all the reasons I said, that I put it on every year.
And look who the hero is. And look at what happens at the end, and it's a movie that is really upsetting on various levels.
Sally. Yeah. And even the remake, and I think 1991 was the remake. It was almost exactly the same to a point, but it's like Anyways, we gotta get to your number 8. You just said that Night of the Living Dead,
That's
so that
my
means
number 8. Yeah.
my
So
number
your
8. Okay. So here is where and this is what I tend, at least this year, tend to go through, and I'm watching. So I go from the comedy Young Frankenstein to Night of the Living Dead, really groundbreaking, to one of the oldest horror films on record, Nosferatu from 1922, uh, directed by F.W. Murnau, and starring Max Schreck, who plays this off so well. And talk about getting you in the mood for Halloween, Dave. I don't know if it gets any better than this. Again, we talked about the German expressionism, but when you put German expressionism in those early silent films and the black and white, that alone, it could be a comedy with some German expressionism. It's unnerving, it's scary, it's spooky in every way. And then you got, because it's a silent film, the facial expressions,
Mhm.
and it all has to do about mood, expressions, shadows, lights and shadows, and all of that. And this is just, I mean, I don't know what more to say except, Nosferatu, Max Schreck just scared the living daylights out of me.
Well, I think Chris W. also mentioned the long nails. It actually had the nails had a presence on
Yes.
on the scene, and the weirdness of how Max looked, and again, you have the weird angles and German expressionism. You know, in America at this time was just amazing to see. Um,
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I like reading my movies, but
Well, I mean that is, but I mean the classics like Nosferatu, Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which didn't make my list, but is just is right up there when it comes to the silent horror.
yeah.
But the German expressionism, it's just, yeah, it's just so good, so good, for spooky, that is. And yes, it did make my list. How could it not? Will M be on your listen? Don't ask me questions, Ed. No, I'm joking. That's why we're going through this one at a time. Okay, Dave. So, oh my God, we are going quick, aren't we?
Yeah, we can take a little bit of a break. We do
Okay.
have 41 thumbs up, but we have 33 people watching. So if you can please give us a thumbs up, that's wonderful. It helps all the algorithms let us be seen, and it really does help.
Yes, it does. And Raj, what is German expressionism? It's a form of art or cinematic way of film. Look it up, Raj. It's go ahead, Dave.
Early
Yeah.
part of the 20th century. You have a lot of. Thank you.
You're welcome.
A lot of dealing with blacks and whites and extreme angles, and it really is a terrific style of movie. As you know, I mean, I don't teach too much of it in the art field, but in the films, it's great. In fact, even if you like Son of Frankenstein, that has kind of a German expressionist feel to it, with the sets and the props and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You'll see like curved edge, like jagged edges and weird things. Speaking of the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, there's a scene where the one accountant or whatever is up on this chair that's like 5 feet tall, and it's like a German expressionist chair would be. It's like all like lopsided, weird, jagged, and he's like leaning over this desk, like it looked like something right out of Dr. Seuss. It was just so good.
I always think of Metropolis too during this time period with the
Metropolis. Yes, exactly. That's same thing. But yeah, we're with you right now, Dave. 7.
We are number 7, 1940, The Ghost Breakers. Bob Hope,
all you had to say was 1940, Ghost Breakers. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite films. I remember watching it on a Sunday for the very first time. It was pouring down rain outside, and it just was the great mood. It was it's similar to the Charlie Chan films in a way. They were just kind of short and succinct. They were funny. I love everyone from Bob Hope to Paulette Goddard to I believe
Oh,
Willie Best was in there as well. And
yep.
they go to basically there's a mob murder, and Bob Hope is escaping and finds himself on a ship going to a deserted island where a zombie lives. And we have a beautiful castle, beautiful heroine, and we have another murder in the castle as well. And they solve it at the end, and they get married.
Yes, all of that and above. Willie Best is also a character on Charlie Chan films early on. Really loved him in those. Some people might not like him in those because of certain reasons and historical. But thank you, DIY Craft, a pair character with lovey-dovey eyes blowing red hearts in the air. Thank you so much, DIY Craft Q. I thanked you the other day before the stream started, and you said, I got to go. And you ran before, I could even say thank you. But thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Oh, man, Ghost Breakers is such a good movie. I mean, I don't even know whether it is on my list, too, but it's not the next one. But yeah, I'll just quickly touch on it when I get to it.
Right.
Anyways, I'm spoiling it. Who you going to call, says Rosalia. Thank you again, DIY Craft Q. So there are also the basic Halloween horror movies that I think every generation is going to watch. You know what I mean? And Halloween 1978 is one of those. And that's my number 7. John Carpenter, Halloween. I mean, Donald Pleasance, Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, it's I think it's the quintessential Halloween movie, Dave. I mean, and it's got mood. And it's also got that late 70s, 80s slasher with Michael Myers. If you're into, which a lot of horror fans do get into, that slasher period where a lot of good movies came out late 70s, early 80s. And, this just put you in the mood for Halloween. It's on Halloween night. I mean, everybody's dressed up, there's masks. It's trick or treating, it's all the good stuff. So yeah,
It is, and it's in a neighborhood you want to go trick or treating.
Yeah.
It's got all the older established homes. It's got the beautiful yards and the steps to run up, and as well as you can run through the yards to the next neighbor. And these are people who are going to give out like the best candy. It's going to be was it popcorn balls?
Yeah. Apple with a razor blade in it.
Oh yeah, totally.
My mom, and we'll talk about this more on Halloween, the Halloween party. But yeah, but my mom would diligently go through every piece of candy. Sally Skellington says the ghost of Mr. Chicken and Harry Scott. Hey, I didn't say hi to Harry Scott and Sin City Jim. Death has come to your town, says Donald Pleasance. That sounds nothing like him. Anyways, Don Knotts and the Ghost of Mr. Chicken. That's another really nice, not as much of a comfort film for me as some of these other ones, but that's another one because I love Don Knotts. I mean, Andy Griffith's fantastic, but we're here to talk horror. Anyways, so that's my number 7. It might not be on your list, Dave. I get it. It's okay. But maybe it is. I don't know. I saw something in your eye there that it may be on your list.
There's nothing in my eye but my eye.
There's nothing in my eye. Well, Stephanie Press, that's what I was going to say too. Listen, Halloween, definitely. But, the other main staples are, like Friday the 13th, what's the other one I'm trying to think of? Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What's wrong with me? Boing. Those are kind of a Freddy Krueger, Hellraiser. Those are kind of, the movie maniacs. You can kind of watch the first one of all of those for Halloween. You know what I mean? And a lot of times that's what I do during Halloween. But anyways, Jay, you are still working. Dino, you are still working on uploading another Clue Club. There's going to be in the next week. I will be premiering a Halloween special of the Clue Club. So look forward to that. It's finally done, and I'm going to be putting that up there. So DOA version 2.1. Wow, the car. Interesting movie, good pick. Not sure it's anywhere near my number one, but there you go. No worries, Raj. Okay, and Sailor Sam, hello. Good to see you, Sailor Sam. I will let my daughter go trick or treat and buy the favorite candy. Okay, Tony Horror Writer, what's going on? Okay, Dave, you're number 6.
Number 6, I'm going to give you a quote. See if you can get it.
Okay.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and another 7 trying to keep him locked up.
Halloween, 1978.
Halloween, 1978. This is why we get along so well together.
Yes.
My number 6 is Halloween, the original, 1978. Donald Pleasance, PJ Souls, Jamie Lee Curtis. A wonderful, beautiful cast. I would date any of them back in 1978. And it's just...
Go! Oh, go ahead.
It is just one of the best movies of all time. As you mentioned, the seasonality of it. It is the first time that I remember doing a real serious, watching a real serious horror movie. I was really young. My mom let me watch it, and it was the same time of Halloween, Friday the 13th. Hi, Tracy. And it was such a good film. And I live close to the Michael Myers house in that neighborhood, and I've been there, and it's just so...
Dave's got pictures. He's got pictures.
I do have pictures. I have video, and shout out to Sugar Mint Gallery, Mint with a Y, and they do a return to Haddonfield every single year, and that is going on right now. You can go and hang out in their backyard and watch the film against the back of the Michael Myers house.
Oh, sweet. I like it. Okay, yes, no, again, I knew we were... It's funny, see, we're maybe a couple off on a couple of these, but good to see you, JoJo Yeston, and Halloween Clue Club coming this week. And Tracy, good to see you in the chat. It's been a while. Hopefully everything is good. Always good to see people. Tracy's had some shows on the channel in the past, and they were fun and spectacular. Good to see you, Tracy. So let's see. I get to my number 6 now, right?
Yes.
And thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. The boogeyman is the boogeyman. Okay, so my number 6 is what Dave said for his number. What was it? Ghostbreakers, 1940. I'm not going to say a whole lot more on that because we just talked about that. But yeah, it's a comfort film for me. Ghostbreakers. I love Bob Hope. I love everything that. Again, I'm an old soul, man. I'm an old soul, and I love anything 30s, 40s, and Ghostbreakers is right there in that category. And it is spooky at the end. I love the zombies, the zombie lady on the island. I forget her name, but and the zombie that walks around there, that's the 30s and 40s zombie where they got big eyes and their shirts ripped, and they're just walking real slow.
Oh yeah, he looked like he was marooned on a desert island.
Yeah. Mantan Moreland. What was the zombie movie with him? Oh, I forget.
Return of the Zombie.
Is that it? Return of the Zombie? It could quite well be. But yeah, I'm not going to go on there because we got plenty more to talk about. But Ghostbreakers, I love it. And this is why I say I go from 1978, I go from comedy, and then I got this Ghostbreakers from 1940. You're getting a little bit of everything that I truly love when it comes to horror films. So there you go. Hey, Sean Bond, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to have you. Good to know you. Okay, go ahead, Dave. What's your number? Are we up to number 5?
Yeah, we better slow down or we're going to be done at the top of the hour.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. How many thumbs up are there? Let me go check. Please hit that thumbs up button, you guys and gals.
You go do that. I'm going to turn the light on. It's getting dark here.
Oh, yeah. 51 thumbs up. Oh, my heart. Talk about a horror movie or horror, Dave. We've only got 51 thumbs up, my friend. Oh. Oh, he left. Okay, I switched back and he was gone. Oh, I got
Hey,
scared. Thought you were ready to say the Invisible Man. Um. Oh boy, I tell you, I love that Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin, was on Dave's list. His whole heart is in the Halloween spirit.
it
Exactly.
is.
Yeah.
It
You
is.
know. Listen, and I didn't put it on it because I was focusing on movies, and Dave's been preaching to me all week. It's stuff that can put you in the mood for Halloween, right? So listen, I was trying to think of TV specials. Like, was there a Donnie and Marie Halloween special? JoJo?
Wow.
Was there a
I'm sure there was a Little House on the Prairie for JoJo.
wait, yeah, there had to have been no Halloween for Little House on the Prairie, but maybe for that Donnie and Marie. Sonny and Cher, maybe? Boy, her in that Indian outfit. I mean, Native American. Oh, geez.
And for JoJo, the chair is not shabby chic; it's shabby cheap.
I was I was expecting that to be Dave's chair, very shabby.
No, it's just the cheapest chair I could get. I want a nice leather background chair, but not quite yet.
Oh, listen, Dave loves the offices of the '70s era. So, yeah, he would like a giant leather chair. But yeah, no, he picked that up at like a Walmart for like $39. Anyways, what is your maybe not. I don't think so. Listen, you need a better chair, Dave. That's all we're saying. We're trying to intervene here. Dave wants us to move on very quickly. Okay.
Are we on 5 now already?
You're number 5, Dave. You were going to sip. Go ahead and sip first.
I'll sip after I introduce. In my top 5, I'm going to continue on with the Halloween spirit. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, 1982. Very confusing when it first came out because we were expecting a Michael Myers story,
Yeah.
but we got something different, and I might say even better.
Huh. Okay. Hey, Boo. Hey, Boo. I'll
Now,
tell you what. Okay, now, yeah, I'll tell you what. Listen, I was pleasantly surprised with Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. It is such a fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, because it has nothing to do with Michael Myers, it was supposed to be a yearly thing. Well, yeah.
you get to see an ad for it on the TV in the bar.
Yeah, but it's technically not. Scojo 72.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the chat.
Hi, Scott.
I'm surprised it's your number 5, though, Dave. Did you really like it that much?
I liked it a lot. Yeah, and it's been a long time since I rewatched it, and I rewatched it with the Late Late Horror Show family, and I had forgotten how wonderful it was because it does take place on Halloween. It obviously deals with Halloween masks. It is just a great, just Halloween story.
I agree with you 100%. Submit, obey. I mean, Yibo Timbus, what's going on? Sorry for being late. No worries. 9 more days. 9 more days till Halloween. 9 more days till Halloween. Silver Shamrock. Yes. And I tell you what, you watch that movie, you're never getting that jingle out of your head.
You won't. And I even rewatched the trailer today, and I'm just like, oh, shouldn't have done that.
All day long, it's been in your head. I'm sorry, Dave. How about this one? By Menon. That's it. Well, that's pretty catchy jingle, though.
It is.
Okay. Anyway,
not as catchy as plop plop fizz fizz.
Plop plop is, yeah. Oh, what a relief it is. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, great pick, Dave. It's not on my list. I put Halloween 1978 above all of the Halloween movies, really. But I get what you're saying. You know, there can be a debate there, but I understand completely. The Pumpkin Mask in Halloween 3 was in a Knight Rider Halloween episode. Oh, nice. Hi all, thanks for the shout outs. You're welcome. Sailor Sam, what's going on, Sailor Sam? It is a good movie. Okay, so my number 5.
Yes.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from 1934. Oh, come on.
Oh,
The Frederick March, Miriam Hopkins film. This movie takes it to another level. It's funny because Frederick March plays this almost like he's a silent actor, and he was a silent actor, but he brings that into this movie, and this isn't a silent film. This is from 1934, but there was so many groundbreaking things in this movie. And listen, it was on the border of pre-code. I mean, Miriam Hopkins, such a great actress, but her performance as the femme fatale who is taken by Mr. Hyde, and what he does to her brutally does horrific things to her. And the way they play this off and portray it in the film is just so good and so scary. And again, the mood, atmosphere, and the shots that they took, the cinematography of this film is one of the greats of all time. It's the best Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde adaptation to screen that I've ever seen. But it's fantastic, everything about it. The acting was superb. I can't say that for every other film on this list, but that is definitely a great one. If nobody's ever seen it, you have to watch that one for sure. Dave.
Harry Scott has joined us.
Oh, yes, he has. I said hello to him about 10 minutes ago. Thanks.
I'm sorry. I just
no,
saw it coming through.
You're good. Barbara Stanwyck's such a great actress. Frederick March was such a good actor.
Frederick March was also in The Best Years of Our Lives, which is one of my favorite movies.
Yes. Big actor back in the day. Silence up through the 30s and then started slowing down through the 40s. But great actor, and especially in this one. The makeup effects in this movie when he turns into the monster is just really, really good. The old lady who rents out to him the room upstairs, again, is fantastic. A lot of these old movies, horror movies especially, Invisible Man's another one, where you got the old woman that's running this little, bar area down there and has rooms for rent upstairs, is so prevalent back in the day, 20s, 30s, early part of the last century. And she's fantastic in this too.
Yes. While it's not on my top 10,
Okay.
I'm going to just do number 11, which was The Wolfman, 1941. When you mentioned the old lady, I thought of Maria Ospinskawa, I think is her name.
Okay.
But she is the innkeeper, the old lady in The Wolfman. And you're right. You have these great actors and actresses who lived during the 1800s, right? And then they're this older person now, and they're involved in all these great horror movies of the early 20th century.
Nice.
And I agree. That was a pick of yours that totally shocked me.
Really? Okay. I think a work of art. I think at some point, if it's not already, should be in the Smithsonian film section there somewhere. Yeah. I really do think so. Just so good. An honorable mention of mine, since you threw one out there, 11, other than Charlie Brown, a Great Pumpkin, is Werewolf of London with Warner Owen. That's something I didn't put on my list, but it's one that I think because I like Charlie Chan so much, and I'm not just saying that. The movie itself is a fantastic film. The werewolf, the story, the plot, everything is fantastic. Just didn't make my list, but that's why it's an honorable mention. But anyways, thank you, J.O.B. The Omen, creature. We don't talk about that show on here. Ugh. Jeez, no, I'm joking, Sally. The Uninvited 1944 with Ray Milan and Gail Russell. There you go. Okay, yeah, I'd like to have movies given to me to watch. Anyways,
Maybe
okay,
someday.
maybe. Yeah, boats kind of floated away. Okay, did you do your number 5?
I did. It was Halloween 3.
Oh, so we're on your number 4.
We are.
As my straw just goes back and forth. Okay, go ahead. Burnt Offerings, Sin City
Roll,
Gym.
roll in
Roll, roll, roll. Oh, wait, what? Your number 4 isn't Young Frankenstein.
Number
What?
4, Young Frankenstein.
Oh,
God bless it. It is such a good film. And,
Okay.
you know, again, a film that I saw when I was young, probably in the early 80s. By the way, there's a Netflix documentary on the life of Gene Wilder right now. And
So good.
I love Gene Wilder and the whole cast. And, you know, Marty Feldman kind of freaks me out a bit, quite honestly. But, you know, I'm going to take Madeline Kahn, Elizabeth, over Terry Garr. Very odd for me to say that because normally it would be the opposite, but something about Madeline Kahn. And
she's a sexy woman. That's all we'll say. Yeah.
she is. And again, I love the sets of Young Frankenstein. I love the story. I love the putting on the Ritz song. You know,
Yeah.
get almost into a musical, which I know they do on Broadway later.
Right.
But it's just it's a comfort film. It's a funny film. It is the one film I disagree with Ted on because he hates Young Frankenstein. I don't know what's wrong with him, but you know, I'll overlook it. Young Frankenstein is just amazing. So that is my number 4.
If I can, a good pick. I had my number 10. Dino, would you be so kind to put up a poll? I'm doing something and got so many tabs open at the moment. I can't, Raj, but I'll try to maybe go back to it at the end of the stream if we got time for sure. Vincent Price, Bela Lugosi, and Peter Lorre. Is that what you're asking? Should I put that poll up real quick, Dave?
Sure.
Is there anything you could talk about real quick? Is there?
Yeah, I can talk about Vincent Price and Bela Lugosi and
Okay,
Peter Lorre.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'll put the poll up. That means I'm going to unpin my links up there. But let me put a poll up. Okay, here we go.
I think I'll go back to Chris W. talking about The Omen. The Omen is a movie that scared the heck out of me. It has got a terrific ending. Gregory Peck, of course. This is the time where horror movies were being substantiated by these great actors in Hollywood history. And Gregory Peck does such a great job in that film. And it's basically, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's this couple has a child, but it gets swapped with this devil child. And it's just, it's fantastic. I have not seen any of the other sequels to it, but definitely if you have not seen The Omen, that would be also probably a movie that I would suggest this time of year.
Okay, I've got that poll up. The Omen, definitely. Listen, I know the order of what that's going to end up being anyways, but Raj asked me to do it, so I put it up there. I already know 1, 2, 3, Dave. But yes, they're all great actors in their own right. One stands out way above the others, I think. But anyways, okay, so my number 4, Dave, and this, okay, so, okay, let me just go with it. Suspiria, 1977.
I knew it.
Did you know it? Okay. Suspiria, big debate on if it's a giallo. Some would say, the giallo fans and experts would say it's not a giallo, and I'm gonna go with them. I'm not debating whether it's a giallo or not, but it's a great horror film, plain and simple. Dario Argento, it's a masterpiece. It's why they remade it so many years ago, which I didn't really get into the newer one. It was okay. But the 1977 version of Suspiria, everything that you would see in a giallo, except it was witchcraft, The main plot, revolves around witchcraft. Why am I mumbling my words today, Dave? I always do that, don't I?
Because there's something else in your ginger ale.
Maybe Novocaine, perhaps. Put some Novocaine on the
How
rim.
much of that cough medicine did you take?
um, but Suspiria, listen, the mood, atmosphere, it's everything you would expect from Dario Argento in his classic giallo films. It's the color, it's the cinematography, the mystery and suspense behind what is going on throughout the entire film. It is spooky as hell. The death scenes in this, especially the barbed wire scene, is unreal. I don't know what more to say about it. It's one of my favorite films of all time. I've loved Suspiria forever since I've seen it, and it's my number 4, Dave. Yes, and I'm done.
All right.
What are you waiting for, Dave?
For the top 3, I was hoping we had a little, drum roll or something. For the top 3, I'm going to go with Dario Argento's Deep Red. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. But I know how much you love that. My number 3 comes to us from a wonderful year of horror, 1980. It is The Shining. It is something that I love to watch. It is a isolated hotel. It is where a person that is seemingly normal has a mental breakdown and the family can't get away. And that famous line, "Here's Johnny," with him breaking down the door with an axe. It is terrifying. There are ghosts of past murder victims. There is just everything you want. And again, probably if I had millions and millions of dollars, I'd have the hotel as well. Right. And, it's just having that location is just amazing. I can't say enough good things about The Shining.
Very horrific film, and you've got a man who goes crazy. You get a little bit of paranormal in there with the Shining itself is psychic, person to person, speaking. Scatman Crothers in there, who also has the Shining, and the ghost of the twins. I mean, and then it's done by Stanley Kubrick, where you get all these little the history and lore of things that are in that movie that are conspiracy theories, and from the rug to scenes and all this other stuff. It's just amazing. Anyways, The Shining. You don't want to get sued. What?
Sued.
Okay. Oh, you don't want to get sued. What?
I don't know. But I'm going to jump down to Sailor Sam. Yeah. And that is the one thing that I've heard more and more of recently that I'm really uncomfortable with what he did to Shelley Duvall during that time.
Yeah.
But and she should have won an award for that acting. I mean, you can see how upset she is, mentally, physically tired, and Jack Nicholson is just coming after her all the time. Yeah. Come play with us forever.
Yeah, listen, she was a fragile individual anyways, Shelley Duvall. We found that out later in life. She dealt with many mental issues. And, it kind of is what had her fall out of Hollywood to begin with. And what they did, and listen, that's the movie business. I mean, some directors, some actors are just, they push. And when you're doing a project like this or a movie, it just breaks you down, and I do feel sorry for her, but what a role. I mean, she will forever go down in history as doing this movie, The Shining, or maybe Popeye, but Popeye. No, but The Shining, yeah, fabulous movie, Dave. It's not in my top 10 list, but I mean, it could be any given year. I mean, this is one of the greats. It really is. Love the movie. And let's see. Connie says, "Hope everyone is enjoying the stream. Hit that bell button, subscribe, click the button. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Please do that. And also check out the description below where Dave's link is to his channel, The Paranormal Gardener. And 64 thumbs up now. And I am going to finish or take the poll down, which
All right.
this is exactly how I thought it would go. It's 73%. Well, here, I'll end it because people are going to change their mind. They did at the last minute there. Somebody did. Vincent Price, number one by a big majority. Bela Lugosi comes in second, which, and Peter Lorre third. Talk about that just for a second, Dave. I mean, I get Vincent Price. Everybody loves Vincent
Hands
Price.
down.
He's been around in the old time radio shows. So he did comedy, he did horror. Listen, the guy was very prevalent in every decade almost that he was alive and doing this show business stuff.
Would you like to talk about Cat's Mile real quick?
Yeah, thank you, Cat Small. Hello. Super chat, $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Great show. I had forgotten so many of these facts, and it's fun to remember them. Thank you, Cat Small. Really do appreciate that. I've yet to watch The Shining and Psycho. Milo says, oh, Milo. You must watch these shows. But yes, thank you, Cat Small, and good to have you here. What about Christopher Lee? Well, Raj asked for those three, and we could have put Boris Karloff in there, and it may have swayed a little bit. But Vincent Price definitely, Bela Lugosi, and Peter Lorre. Bela Lugosi because I guess because he did so many awful B horror movies that he became a cult icon.
Not so awful.
Huh?
Some not so awful. Think about the Bowery Boys movies, right?
Yes.
He was in 2 Bowery Boy movies, which I'd love to discuss someday. And he played a wonderful character. I realize in real life there were some major issues with his life, and it's really, really sad.
It is.
Hello, Traveling Fools.
Hey, Traveling Fools. What's up? Yo.
And I wanted to ask Ebo Timbus, what role was Vincent Price up for in Star Wars? I had never heard that before. But J.O.B. says that Vincent Price and the Thriller song, I thought that was phenomenal. I got a chance years and years and years ago to chat with Victoria Price, Vincent's daughter. Yeah. And I got to tell her how lucky she was being able to listen to her dad's voice, being able to see his images. None of us are able to do that, but she is. And, Vincent Price was always in such great horror movies, including, to me, one of my favorite is the House of Wax. And just a creepy guy. I loved him on The Muppets, I loved him as a guest host on a lot of shows, but he was also a person who was into art. He donated his entire art collection to one of the community colleges here in Los Angeles, in East Los Angeles Community College. We have the Vincent Price Art Center. And so he was just really into art.
Interesting.
I can see him as a Peter Cushing character.
Yeah. Okay. Loved him in the Roger Corman Poe movies. Yes. But Bela Lugosi, I mean, again, cult status. I think great movies he's done. White Zombie, of course, Dracula, but and Black Cat with Boris Karloff. I mean, come on, The Raven, on and on and on. So, but he did like 100 B movies that were just 5 out of 10. but they were so good because they had him in there, and with his accent and the bad acting during that time, it gave him a cult status, kind of.
And he also, Vincent Price went to Yale. His degree is in art history, which is what mine is. And that's why I actually wanted to go to Yale for grad school. I did not get in. But also, his family was very, very wealthy. And they
I
have
rejected Yale, anyways.
good. And they have a candy company.
Huh.
I think it's Price Candy Company. I'm not 100% sure on the title, but they own a candy company that he was going to like basically run when he got of age, and he went into the acting instead.
Exactly. And as for Peter Lorre on the bottom of the list, I mean, I almost think Peter Lorre, Bela Lugosi could be switched, because Peter Lorre is a fantastic actor. Evidently, Dave don't care too much. He did some good work. Anyways, we're gonna move on. Dave, I think we're at your number.
Wasn't he Mr. Moto as well?
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Yes,
And he was in M.
He most certainly was. Are you? Did you do 3, Dave?
I did.
Okay, so it's my number 3.
Okay.
And yeah, you mentioned this a little bit ago. You can read my mind, I guess. These next 3 spots. Do you know what it is? Well, let me give you the great kill scene. Dragon on the streets of Italy.
Is there plumage in the title?
No, it's Deep Red.
Okay.
Deep Red, 1975. Another giallo. Why is this in my top 10, and why is it so high on my list? It's because I've fallen in love with giallo, and the great ones are great. Giallo, Dario Argento, Deep Red is just, and listen, there's people, a lot of giallo fans put this as their number 1, and say is the quintessential giallo film. Dave, something happened to him. It is the quintessential giallo film. You have the hat, fedora, black trench coat, your typical giallo killer on the loose. But you also have in Deep Red the mystery, the suspense, the kills in this movie. I know that is a little tough to handle, but in a horror movie, they're so inventive, and the way they do what they do in this film, like the opening scene, the lady looking out the window, and Dario Argento had something with glass, pushes her through, and the guy's way down on the city blocks looking up at the murderer kill. It's fantastic. But there's a scene in here where one of the guys gets dragged from a garbage truck, and he's being dragged all over the streets of the city and back and forth. It was just, what is going on here? It's just, but other than that, why did it make my Halloween top 10? Because it's a horrific film. It's moody, it's mystery. Everything about this, from beginning to end, Deep Red, I think is fantastic. And it is one of the, I think it's the best giallo film for me, not maybe for everybody, but for me, it's my favorite giallo film. And yeah, there you go.
John.B.S. Has a question regarding Deep Red.
John space B.S. Let's see. Where is this at? Okay, hold on. Is Deep Red the one with the Iron Maiden wall breaking scene, or is that Tenebrae? I always get them mixed up. That's Tenebrae. Iron Maiden. I do not believe that's Deep Red. The wall breaking scene. Oh, you got me on the spot there, John. Not real sure. I know the soundtrack was Goblin for this for Deep Red, and was fantastic. But yeah, not sure. Raj is kind of bummed. Dino, he was Peter Lorre was not in the lead. Oh, Raj. Yeah, here in America for sure, Vincent Price, and I think around the world, except for maybe Peter Lorre in that, and maybe in Germany, Austria, those countries over there in Europe, that maybe he might have come out in the lead above Vincent Price, but not here. Vincent Price is he's royalty. Yeah, he's the Prince of Horror. Is who he is. Um, Okay. And I never said hi to Boo, Spanier, Cassiopeia. Carliff wasn't even considered, and he's a king. No, no, I just put up three that. Okay, no more polls. Sorry. Let me reprimand the chat. I agree. There's many other horror actors. We could have put Christopher Lee in there, Peter Cushing. Who else could we have put in there? Anyways, okay, Dave. What's that link to? Dino and Ted.
Dino and Ted's review of Deep Red,
Oh, there you go.
which I thought was one of the best reviews you guys ever did together.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you have a chance after you leave this episode tonight, and you're wondering, what am I going to do on a Sunday night? Watch Dino and Ted talk about Deep Red. It is a great show. I turned off my camera earlier because we talked about Peter Cushing. So I had to grab my Peter Cushing as Sherlock Holmes, an actor and a rare one. It is signed. But
a little bit of a sad life towards the end there too, with his wife passing and all that, and
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, very sad.
Very devoted to her.
Yeah, he almost didn't want to go on, but he did continue to act in some films. And but Peter Cushing, yeah, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, Hammer horror, will always be known for that Hammer horror and that 70s kind of. Well, listen, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, I mean, they started Hammer horror back in the late 50s with the Frankenstein series and all that. So, yeah, two great horror icons in themselves. Dave and that other guy, LOL. What's that mean? I don't know. I'm confused. Dino, was it phenomenon? Dino, was it phenomenon? What? I don't know, John. I'm getting confused now, Dave. Boom. Get back to reality. Back to reality, Dave.
All right. We just have two more films to go through, but I think it's a good time to do an honorary mention. Do you have another honorary mention?
You go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and go with one. Very similar to the 1940s Ghostbreakers. I'm going to take us back a year earlier to 1939 and talk about The Cat and the Canary. This is a tougher one to find, but it's Bob Hope, Paulette Goddard, a number of other great actors and actresses in this film. It is somewhat comedy, but it is Gail Sondergaard. That's the main person I wanted to talk about. Academy Award winning Gail Sondergaard, by the way. And
I thought that I would put that more in mystery, Dave. No,
I
guess it's horror.
It puts me in the mood for Halloween, is what it does.
Okay, yeah.
You have a person dressed up as a cat who kills people, and he's got this wicked knife that swings out. There's a haunted house, not a haunted house, but an old mansion with secret passages. There's a will that's stolen. It covers a number of different genres, and it actually puts me in the mood just as much as the Ghostbreakers does. And it's really a terrific movie if you have not seen it.
Nice. Very, very cool. And yes, a lot of the old black and white mystery movies would also, I consider a lot of those like borderline horror, and they give you that feeling because they're black and white, and the mood and the atmosphere usually takes place in a big old house. It gets you in the mood for Halloween for sure. Which, here we go, my honorable mention. It could have made my list at any time. The Old Dark House. There you go.
1930?
Yes. Well, Was it 1930? Yes, I think it was 1930. Um, you got Boris Karloff as a mute butler, and it's just a rainy, stormy night, and one guest after the other come to the door and come in, and nice plot with the brother upstairs, and then the person sleeping up, and it's just a spooky haunted house type movie. And it was fantastic. It was fantastic. So that's my honorable mention. I would also say The Black Cat and Murders at the Rue Morgue, which has Bela Lugosi kind of spinning on Boris Karloff, and like what happened at the end of Murders of Rue Morgue at that final scene was horrific for the time. You know what I'm talking about, Dave, right?
I have yet to see Murders at the Rue Morgue.
Oh, geez. Okay, you need to see that one real quick. Put that on your list. It's a very tough scene to watch. It's very, very good. Very, very good. Anyways, you guys have me making my own top 10 list right now. Do it, J.Be that. The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, another great movie.
And I think
Also,
I saw one Sean come in.
oh, he's been here a while.
Oh, Sean. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Good to see everyone in chat. Love you. Okay, yeah. So my number 2. Or no, you're number 2.
I'll go ahead and do number 2 right now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not?
Are you ready? Lock those doors and windows and watch out for that fog coming in from the east. That's right. It's John Carpenter's The Fog, KBN San Antonio Bay. Oh my God. One of the best ghost stories.
I thought this would be your number 1, but go ahead.
Nope. It's phenomenal. Again, Jamie Lee Curtis, Adrienne Barbeau. Everything that, I've been to the Fog Church, hung out inside. I didn't break in, but I got in through some of the people cleaning the church. Got to spend about 20 minutes alone just in that room. It's
nice.
A ghost story that's just perfect for Halloween.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. A very good choice. I had a couple issues with the movie, but yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee's character was a bit, I'm like, what's going on there? But yeah, good movie, very good movie. Which takes me to my number 2, which you're going to be. Usually, this is my number 1, but it's Rosemary's Baby from 1968. You probably thought it would be my number 1, right, Dave?
Actually, your list has thrown me. I thought Halloween would be your number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, Rosemary's Baby technically is my all-time favorite horror movie. Even movie. I wouldn't say movie in general, but a horror movie for sure. But as we're talking about Halloween and what gets you in the spirit of Halloween, for me, especially this year, it's the Rosemary's Baby is there every year, but it makes number 2. It didn't make my number 1 this year, but Rosemary's Baby is just, I mean, what can I say about this movie, Dave? I mean, the cinematography, where it's set, the building, the atmosphere. I want to be in that movie. Talking about being in a movie, I mean, that building, I want to be there. And the color palette, the setting, the streets, the city, everything about it was just fantastic. But then, you got Mia Farrow, this is the role for Mia Farrow. This is the one I love. I've seen, although there's another one, I think it's called Ted and Alice. It's with her and Dustin Hoffman. It's a drama, kind of a romance drama, but it is such a sweet, perfect film. And I've never heard anybody talk about this film. It needs to be watched. It's just the period, everything. But anyways, Mia Farrow in this movie, not only beautiful, and she's just gorgeous in this movie. and then the other actors, the Castavets in this movie, the neighbors, played by Ruth Gordon and Sidney Blackmer. Um, but Ruth Gordon, oh my God, such a good actor. We've talked about her, I think, many times on
In
the.
Columbo,
Yes, yes, yes.
she
But
played Abigail Mitchell.
yep, yep. All about all about Satanists and black magic and everything else. Go ahead.
So I'm sorry, what is the theme of Rosemary's Baby?
What is the theme?
Why are yeah,
It's a cult.
what is the storyline of the film? Because one of us on the show hasn't seen it.
Oh, you still haven't seen Rosemary's
No,
Baby?
it's got Mia Farrow in it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Listen, Mia Farrow comes to this building. She lives with a struggling actor, Guy Woodhouse, played
I
by
just know
John
where the
Cassavetes.
baby came in.
Played by John Cassavetes, and he's an actor who's trying to get leading roles and stuff, and he's going to sell his soul to the devil, and that's with the neighbors, where the neighbors come in, who they just play it off great. And there's a very disturbing scene where, they start to, he drugs Mia Farrow. I don't want to give too much away for anybody who hasn't seen it, but something happens. She gets impregnated. Satanist cults. She has this baby, this devil baby, but everything that happens in between there, and she's trying to get away with it. She's trying to figure it out throughout the whole movie. It's one of the best ever. I mean, I won't mention the the man who directed it. Well, I will. Roman Polanski, one of the dirty ones in Hollywood, but he kind of scooted from the U.S. and he lives abroad now. But yeah, dirtbag. But for me, it doesn't take away from this movie. This is just a fantastic movie, and gets me in the mood right away for. And there is a movie out right now called Apartment 7A. I haven't seen it yet. I think it's on HBO Max. It came out. It's about Terry. She's one of the girls who jumped. She was supposed to be Rosemary Woodhouse's, Mia Farrow's character at the beginning of the movie, but she killed herself. And evidently, she wasn't able to conceive, something like that. So this movie is supposed to be a prequel to that, but I hear a lot of bad things about it. Like, it's why did they even make this movie? It's just like kind of the same feel as it. But I still want to see it because it has something to do with Rosemary's Baby. So, but that is my number 2, Rosemary's Baby, 1968. Dave, you've never seen it, and you need to see it.
No, I will.
Okay.
Is it time for number 1?
It's Dave's number 1 pick of all time. And I'm trying to think, what could it possibly be?
That's right. 12 Cabins, 12 Vacancies. The number 1 best horror movie for Halloween is Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
Oh, duh. What is wrong with me?
I don't know.
I know. You've said this a million times.
Psycho is my favorite film. A boy's best friend really is his mother. This is a movie that is based on Robert Bloch's book. The only difference between the book and the movie is there is a first chapter to the book that is not covered, which gives you a little bit more insight into Norman Bates. But also Norman Bates in the book is, older and bald and heavy and, paunchy. And Norman Bates in the film obviously is this young, good-looking Anthony Perkins character. It's a wonderful, so many things, the MacGuffin and the idea of stealing the money. And I've shown it to my class several times when we talk about visual analysis, and they're amazed that, this is a major horror movie, but it's, there's only 2 killings in the film.
Oh yeah.
The idea of the main person dying 45 minutes into the film, leaving us without a lead character. The subtle things, like when she steals the money, you see her in black lingerie, and when she's going to return the money, miraculously it's changed to white lingerie. The further away she gets from the scene of the crime, the more intense the storm is. But again, once she has this revelation of, I'm going to go back, I'm going to return the money, Norman Bates opens up the window and says, look, it stopped raining. You know, just these wonderful, subtle things that are throughout the film. And of course, that weird ending. We also have Simon Oakland in this film. And the very last person, of course, Ted Knight, who opens the door, where we get to see that one scene where someone just mentioned it in the chat about not harming a fly.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I agree with you, man. Go ahead.
No, that was all.
Oh, okay. I thought you were looking for the fly thing.
I was, but I can't find it. But
Yeah.
I'm old, so.
Yes. Psycho's one of the greats. Again, it could be on my top 10 list too. It's not there, but it's one of the great films of all time, and I agree with you. And it's more than just about murders. It's about the mind of Norman Bates, you know, and the loss of his mother up on that house on top of the hill, you know, and just his little the little quirkiness about his character. And you know, he plays it off so well. And yeah, it's good. And Alfred Hitchcock, I mean, you know,
well, what's great about this film too is the people who did the Alfred Hitchcock TV show are the same people who shot this film.
Yeah.
And it was literally like a production break. They shot this film in 42 days. The shower scene alone, which only lasts less than a minute on camera, I think it's 45 seconds, it took them 7 days to shoot it.
Alfred Hitchcock wanted, go ahead.
I also wanted to mention a couple things in the chat. Ian Sharp says the book is a good read, 100%. And if you ever get the chance to read Psycho 2 as well, the book is completely different than the movie. And I would even say it is in the same caliber of quality as Psycho, the original. The third book, Psycho House, I would probably skip that. It's not very good. But I also do like Psycho movies 3 and 4. Actually, 2, 3, and 4 are pretty good. But keep in mind, they're, you know, the 80s. They're shooting for a teenage audience with, you know, nudity and slashing and stuff like that.
And somebody mentioned Bates Motel. That was a newer TV series that lasted, I don't know, what was it, 4 seasons, somewhere around it? I don't know.
I never saw it, so
it was a pretty good. It was a pretty good series. I really did like it. I think that actor, I forget his name, who played you know, his role, Norman Bates, it was really, really good. Spot on. So yeah, a good series. I would recommend it if you're a Psycho fan, for sure.
And also Psycho 4 kind of plays into the Bates Motel. It is the prequel to Psycho. So you actually see Norman Bates, who's played by the kid on E.T., Henry Thomas. He's the young Norman Bates, and he is, you know, it's a great film. It's Anthony Perkins calling into a talk show host late at night, very much like Art Bell, but she's a female talk show host. And he's all, I want to confess about all the things I did when I was a kid. And he's just him killing his mother. Oh my God, so good. So good.
Stephanie Press says, I'd rather stay at the Bates Motel than the Overlook Hotel. Yeah, I think you got a better chance to, well, I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough question. Bates, which would you rather stay at? That's a good poll
for you.
Yeah, there's a poll for you, but okay. Because I might be this Stanley Hotel.
I'm staying at the Stanley too. You're gonna have better room
yeah.
service. You have carpeting, everything's interior.
Oh, and just walking that whole, I mean, Bates Motel, you're stuck in a little cabin. You know, Stanley Hotel, you're everywhere. you know, not everybody's going to go nuts like he did. You know what I mean? So I think there was a number of reasons why he went nuts. But anyways,
And
hello
yes,
Q, hello Q Southside. Um, did I miss something, Dave? Bates Motel was excellent.
no, we're up to your number one.
Okay. Okay. So my number one. I'm gonna let you try to guess, Dave.
Oh no, don't do it.
Oh, come on.
You already got the top ones that I thought you were going to choose.
I always talk about this. My favorite comfort film of all time.
Charlie Chan's Dark Alibi?
Yeah, that's Halloween.
Sherlock Holmes' Terror by Night?
No.
I don't
Abbott
know.
and Costello meet
Oh,
Frankenstein.
of course.
1948. I mean, it's got everything that I love. I'm not saying it's the best movie ever made, but for me, it's the movie that makes me feel the best at a lot of the times when I'm sick and I'm like, you know, laying in bed and I'm just like, oh, this is miserable. Let's put this in. Oh, Abbott and Costello. We got Dracula. We got Frankenstein, played by Glenn Strange. Frankenstein in this movie, though. But when we got the Wolfman, we even got Vincent Price's voice as the Invisible Man at the end. But they say, oh, it resurrected Abbott and Costello's career a bit, but I think they were still all right. But it did. I mean, they introduced the Universal monsters to Abbott and Costello, and it really did help them kick off. And then their career kind of waned in the 50s with the Colgate, Abbott and Costello Colgate Hour. I think a lot of the duos use that to die off, you know, back in the day. Just saying. Although Jerry Lewis went on to do his thing in the 70s and 60s. But anyways, it makes me feel good. I love it. Everything about it. Abbott and Costello, funny as heck. And then you got the serious side of the monsters, because Bella played it off straight, you know. So did Lon Chaney Jr. and they all played it off very, very well. But Abbott and Costello stuck to the character. And listen, Abbott and Costello had some really good lines in this, especially when at the beginning where they're in that you know, the luggage and they're coming in, and it's just so many good lines, and I love it. It makes me think of Halloween every year. So there you go, Dave. That's my list. Cheek.
That's amazing. Do you have it in front of you? I was just going to redo my top 10. So for everyone, from 10 to number 1, it's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, followed by Kolchak, The Night Stalker, Night of the Living Dead, Halloween 1, The Ghostbreakers, Halloween 3, Young Frankenstein, The Shining, The Fog, and Psycho.
Okay, and we have 1, 2, 3.
Just the 3 overlap.
3 of the same movies. Okay. And mine are from 10 to 1. 10 being Young Frankenstein, 1974. Number 9 is Night of the Living Dead, 1968. 8 is Nosferatu, 1922. Number 7 is Halloween, 1978. Number 6 is Ghostbreakers, 1940. Number 5 is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from 1934. Again, I'll say Frederick March and Miriam Hopkins. Anyways, number 4 is Suspiria, 1977. Number 3 is Deep Red, 1975. Great Dario Argento. Number 2, Rosemary's Baby. If you haven't seen it, you must watch that movie. And number 1, the movie that'll make you feel so good, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, 1948. And that is my top 10 list this year. Pretty good, Dave.
Excellent. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I wish I would have put The Great Pumpkin somewhere on there. I don't know if it would have bumped any of these off, but it's at least an honorable mention for me, because every year I watch It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and that was definitely a good pick. So yeah, thanks everybody for spending the time with us. Let me get a count on the thumbs up. Please hit that thumbs up before you leave. We are only at 69 thumbs up. Let me put a poll up. How bad does that hurt Dino's heart? That is no, I'm joking. Listen, it's an ongoing thing. Me and Dave like to get 100. We try for 100. Please hit that thumbs up on your way out, or if you're rewatching this, please do. We'll eventually hit 100 before the night's up, I hope. But Chrisia, mine's Friday the 13th, 5 to 8, or Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. Chrisia, Friday the 13th, 5 is your favorite horror movie of all time? Is that what you're saying, Chrisia? Very interesting. Anyways, thanks to everybody for being here. Dave, next week is Kolchak, right?
It is. It is one of the last episodes, episode 18, The Nightly Murders, I think it's called.
Yes, can't wait for that. Although they're dwindling down. We're almost done with it. Dino's heart is made of Legos. Chris W. Yes, it is. Listen, it was good to see Tracy in here, and Jojo, if you're still listening. Yeah. So anyways, I will see you guys soon. Stay tuned for Halloween special this week of the Clue Club before Halloween there. And special edition. Not that anybody cares. I know a few do. But thank you, Dino and Dave. Thank you, everyone, for your wonderful Sunday night. Yes, have a good week coming and going too as well, right, Dave?
Yep.